Hello everyone, my name is Celestial Jacoby and I'm going to be showing you how to boost a Facebook post. This is Mary, she's a Remax Integrity broker down in Grants Pass, and she has allowed me to use her page as an example here. So I just published this post for Mary, and basically the post is saying, if you're thinking about selling your home and not sure where to begin, basically that's okay because everyone has busy lives and there's a lot more planning and detailing involved, and taking it on all yourself is just too much to take on. It's a huge task. And to contact her, so I have a call to action, a let's chat. So click here to begin the conversation or schedule a free consultation. And this actually, when you click on it, goes to her Facebook Messenger. There's multiple ways of asking people to contact you. We're just going to try this one. And just to let you know, everyone's page on Facebook works this way. If you put the m.me dash and then look up here at what your page is called, for Mary, it's Remax Integrity period Mary. Place that there, and then when you click it, it goes to Facebook Messenger for her. So, and I have two light hashtags. Facebook has done a lot of changes, as it always does, so we're not sure, right now if hashtags are going to be helping or hurting, so I'm kind of keeping it very mild in Facebook. Instagram, I'm a little more heavy on hashtags. So going back to this, so now we're going to go and boost. I also created an image here, I didn't create it, but a stock photo of a couple holding a sign, just kind of making fun of like this might be your first step of trying to sell your home. Not the best way. So obviously these people need some help. So we're going to hit the boost here, and some of you have been in here, some of you haven't, so let me just kind of break down what you're seeing. And once again, remember, Facebook changes often. It's their playground, it's their rules. That's what I like to say about Facebook. Love them or hate them, it's just the way it is. So here we go. So this is new. Message, engage, and chat with potential customer. So this basically has a button like send a message, which will go into Messenger, which we kind of already did here. It's not horrible to have two ways of them getting to you if they somehow miss that, or they think it's a link to something. Most people are not quite familiar with this yet. The m.me / Remax Integrity.Mary, they might think it's an actual web page link. So it might take them into Messenger and they're not familiar with it. But it could be a way to quickly capture their information. Some people might back out. Like I said, sometimes when technology is new, it might take a while for people to warm up to. Send a message has been around for a little while. So I think most people will be comfortable with this. Let's see. This kind of gives you a breakdown. So right here, you can change your objectives. So would you rather increase engagements, which is reactions, comments, and shares? Just to give you an update, Facebook basically changed a lot of the way that they have released their newsfeed. I'm sure many of you have noticed that. Basically, family and friends are first, and then groups, and then business pages. So the way to improve your business page standing is if you can prompt conversation on posts in a more meaningful way, it will help your overall ranking. And I usually try to say do that in boosting posts or sharing your posts into groups where it makes sense. Facebook groups, I'm very big on that. Please take time to get to know them, and figure out where you could fit in that angle. Create really meaningful posts that actually ask a question at the end. Remember, people like to actually give answers and talk about their experiences. So the more conversation you create on a post, the better for you, not just thumbs up or yay or emojis. That doesn't really help that much. So that's what these two things are. We have the engagement, which is trying to ask for reactions, comments, and shares, and then messenger, which goes straight into their Facebook Messenger. So, since we already have that link, I'm just curious. Like I said, this is a lot about testing, trying to figure out what works for your audience. Everyone is different in their community. It depends on where you live, honestly, and what your post's about. So there's a lot of variables. So when you do testing, make sure you only change one variable at a time and really pay attention, start to document the stuff, because at some point you will find that nice, sweet spot for how to best optimize your Facebook marketing dollars. So So I just want to test this because, like I said, we already have that link that will go straight to your Facebook Messenger. I'm going to just pass on this one and just see how it goes. You can always go back and change this. So I'm going to hit save. All right. And this one might still keep. So we have add a button to your post. So we could do no button, which is pretty obvious right there. Book now, learn more, sign up, get addresses, send message, send WhatsApp message. So that's a whole other application. WhatsApp, will go into that some other time, but it's another chat software. So, all right. So I'm going to put no button for now, just to kind of see how that goes. Like I said, we could change that later. See, and then people you choose through targeting. So we're focusing on home sellers. I'm going to kind of set this at some of the more ambitious youngsters out there. I guess some people have bought around 21. And you could always go in and update this, like I said, get rid of California. I guess I could do 65 retirees looking to be done, or basically moving into retirement homes. Like I said, you can change this later. So, I've seen a lot of people not take advantage of location and just doing all of US, which is really, depending on your message, that could be wasting your money. If you're trying to promote living in Oregon and moving here, then all of US would be great. And there's other things you can kind of narrow down to kind of get people excited about moving here. But I would never do something as general as, just one location, one state, or just all of US without adding other demographics down here, which we could talk about here in a few. So we want to focus on Medford and Grants Pass. So let me look them up. Medford, Oregon. And what you'll see is that down here, your potential audience size, it gives you a general idea of how many people are available for you to get the message in front of. So here we go, Grants Pass, Oregon, do Ashland, Oregon. And you can also work on the radius of these areas. You can lower or higher, and that will change. So I'm going to, since these are pretty close together, Ashland, I'm probably going to take down a little bit, maybe a little more. So I'll maybe go to like 12. Grants Pass, or Medford's next up there. So I'm going to do maybe, let's see what happens at 20, maybe 21. Okay, and Grants Pass, that looks pretty good. I think we'll leave it at 25. Once again, you can always change these during the campaign. So we got all age range, location. Now we're going to come down to this spot. And once again, this is where, depending on your message, to choose what's best for you. So like I said, this one we're trying to focus on people who've considered selling their home, just kind of helpfully reminding them or nudging them that it's a good time to sell. So education, this basically is just, what their history of academics is, field of study, education level. Then we have, let's close that up. So right now we have 180,000. Financial, this talks about their income. Facebook gets a lot of data, net worth. So you can play with those too. I try to do a little bit of a wider net, especially since this message is a little bit of a wider marketing message before I start drilling things down. Home ownership. I'm going to do homeowner. So that takes us down to 120,000. Let's see what else. Let's close that up. Home type. Apartment condos, home value. That could be, I don't think I want to touch that one right now. Like I said, these are things you can play with later. Multifamily homes, single home. I guess it'd be more if you start to specialize in certain areas. Household composition. These are fun, and this is where you can really create specific marketing messages, and I highly recommend using these too. Like I said, this one's kind of broad. But like, for example, grandparents, mention about retirement and maybe downsizing and those kind of messages. You can reach out to them that way. See, housemate-based household. Not sure exactly what that is. Let's see, new parents. This might be just a bunch of people living together. I'm not sure. Maybe you could mention something like, is your house too crowded, or is your living space too crowded? Maybe it's time to own your own home. That's this is just suggestions of how to think about marketing messages. New parents, you could be like, congratulations on your family's new addition. Soon you'll be hearing, the pitter patter of feet running through your house. Is your house ready, or is it a good enough size for your current family needs? Things like that. Let's see. Working women, young and hip, young adults at home. So spend some time in here seeing what they have available to you and just try to work messages around what's available. Life events, anniversary, away from family. Let's see. Birthdays, long distance relationships. So this is under life events. So let's see, this is interesting. So it's friends of friends that you can reach out to. Let's see. I'm just trying to think of a marketing message for this one. Close friends, women's birthday. Friends have recently moved. Now that would be a bummer. You want to capture those people. Friends of newly engaged people. Here we go. So you could mention something along the lines of, you're getting married soon, and might be thinking of buying a home in the near future. Reach out to me, because sometimes when they see posts, if they click on it, they can also see if you're friends with them, or they might know you. They might have met you once or twice, and they know your face. So it's kind of like a really light angle referral, because if they've seen you before, in public, and you've met them a few times, but it's not someone you talk to often, at least you could reach out this way. Let's see, friends of newlyweds, kind of same thing. New job, maybe they might be relocating or trying to sell. So like I said, there's lots of different things you can do in here. Parents, all parents, moms, same idea with marketing messages. So these are the multiple options you can look into. We've got relationship statuses, divorced, that could be another message about needing to sell your home fast. Engaged, same thing as far as needing to buy a home quickly, possibly. So there's lots of factors in here. And going into interests, you can go into, entertainment, family relationships. It's the kind of same thing, marriage here. For things such as hobbies and activities, you could, if you have, for example, a house by a golf course, you could narrow it down to people in the area who like to golf, and just be like, hey, I've got a great location, a great house that's right by this golf course. If you're passionate about playing golf and you're looking for a place to live closer to the golf course, you can do what you love more. This might be the house for you, things like that. Let's see other behaviors. So, because this really drills down people who, these are more mobile device users. It's more for kind of selling. Let's see, networking connections. Yeah. That's more selling products. So like I said, there's lots and lots of features in here. Residential profiles, likely to move. This was a good one too. New mover, recent home buyer, recent mortgage borrow. That'd be a good one too. And then Facebook ads has a little bit more category options, but this is just for the boosting a post. So I'll show you the Facebook ads angle later. So let's see. Oops, I clicked away from home there. So let's get rid of that. So right now, I usually recommend, like I said, your first test, just kind of keep it wide. I just got homeowner, got the location, got the age range, all. Let's see what happens, and then we can start to kind of narrow it down, maybe thinking about life events that would make people want to sell. So, and Facebook usually tells you like, yay, you're doing a good job, congratulations, you get 5 stars. Or if you start to really narrow it down, it's like, it's too defined, not going to hit as many people, but don't always look at it that way. Sometimes you want to get too defined, especially if your message is really, targeted. So, take some time to think for yourself if that's really what you want. Facebook wants you to, their main objective is to get money. But sometimes you get good results from them. So, like I said, it's kind of a love-hate relationship with Facebook. All right. So here we are. So I'm going to do save, and let's see. Now, okay, so make sure I get everything here. People like your page. Oh, this is something else I could show you. Wonder if I can get back to this. Let's see, I lost that. Nope, cool. Okay. So you can also, people who've liked your page or people who like your page and their friends, this is good too. So people who like your page basically is obviously people who just come to your page and liked it. You can also change this as far as the age range if you want. So anyone's recently come there, just know too, I think a lot of you believe that if they've liked your page, they're going to always see your posts. That is not the case, unfortunately. That's why my biggest marketing message is always try to find a way to capture their information, whether it's email, telephone, address, whatever you can get. If you don't have a way of having a form or a website, it kind of makes it a little tough. That's why the next best option is to kind of get them into Facebook Messenger, because at least, it's more of a one-to-one conversation. It's a little more personal. So, and that's always what I mentioned, is just try to capture their information and get it into your database as best as you can, because Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, they're all just tools to get you conversations, but you really should find a way to direct them to a place where you can actually grab their information, because, if one of these social platforms goes down or decides to change the rules, which it does often, you could lose a lot of that information. So that's just my bigger marketing message. Anyhow, going back to this, where are we? So yes, people who like your page, people who like your page and their friends. This one's pretty powerful too. Once again, it's more of that kind of, second touch of a sphere, because these are your friends' friends. You can narrow that down also, which I would get rid of the California. So it has people who like Remax Integrity, Mary Parson, friends of connections, the friends of people who are connected to Remax Integrity, Mary Parson, Parskin. Sorry, Mary, I don't know if I pronounced your last name right. So this is another way where if you want to ask for a favor or advice, or mention to people like, hey, I got some buyers or I got some sellers, and if you know of anyone who's looking to buy, please contact me. Yeah, this is more of that kind of genuine conversation that you can have with this setting. So this other one, the targeting, is kind of that reaching out to audience that you haven't really engaged with yet. You can also run the promotion on Instagram if the photo works for it. Sometimes the dimensions don't work. So we're gonna run this on Instagram and see what happens. Actually, I'm gonna take it off Instagram, because that's the thing with Instagram, is this doesn't quite work for it unless they've changed how they do this. So let's look over here, because you can't do links in Instagram, but they might have a way now. Let's looky here. Learn more. And usually they have a preview mode. Not seeing that right now. Like I said, things change a lot. Okay. Well, let's test it. Does it learn more? It knows her Facebook page. The only problem with that is that if the people on Instagram don't have Facebook pages, it's kind of a wasted click. So, like I said, we can always go and change this. So let's just leave it for now. So you can see how it's going to look in all these different feeds. Desktop. Okay. All right. So make sure that we're okay. Back to this. People who've targeted. Make sure it didn't change. Okay. All right. So now we have duration of 1 day, 7 days, 14 days. So let's do. Let's spread it out. 14 days. I'm going to change this to 15. He likes that. All right. All right, so you'll be spending an average of $1.07 per day. This ad will run for 14 days. And so what I recommend is, especially with this, I usually keep an eye on it when it's running. So when you do it, just make sure you're kind of available to see who's engaging, liking, clicking. Click on their link, their Facebook link, and make sure that it is someone from Medford and Ashland and Grants Pass and things like that. Make sure Facebook's being honest, basically. So they have that data enough to do this correctly. All right, so we got the like page, looks all good. And so I'm going to hit boost. So it's going to submit, and then Facebook's going to take its time to look over it and make sure that it fits their standards. They have a lot of rules. So for example, one of the fun ones is if you have video with too much text or too much text on anything, they frown upon that and will kind of push back saying you got too much text in this area. Then you got to change your image, or sometimes if you try to boost a video and there's music playing in the background, they will question whether you own that music or not. There's a copyright, so it's kind of a nightmare. So I'd recommend keeping them kind of simple and genuine. So, all right, so it's kind of said order received. Make sure it meets our advertising policies. You take 15 minutes or less. It gives you the rundown, and then you can always go back and add more. And then we can close. So we'll check this out later. So that's how you boost a post and all the different variables they have. Like I said, it really depends on your message. First, take the time to look at the options they have, then create the message, put it all together, go in and start to boost your post. Keep it kind of a wide net as far as reaching the audience, and then start to narrow it down. Of course, depending on your target audience, I would give it, depending on how long you're boosting it, I would give it 24 hours. Take a look at it and see what the results are. See who's liking it, making sure that they're people you'd want to reach out to. You can always go back in and change it. All right. Thanks so much for listening.